up in your city for the evening, what you tryna do? Cause I'm open to it. I know that you're missing, but you gon' get through it. I can help with it if you need that. Go and bring the beat back. I don't really listen to the feedback, nah. Told me that she good, she don't need Jack, nah.
Today, from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, it's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Ohio River. There's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And I'll bet right now there's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
Two touchdown passes last week.
Two touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Ball carrier.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 9 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
On second down, Burrow. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Throwing now, Burrow on first down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Brings up a quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll let the fullback try and pick it up. This is Anthony Sherman. And he is going to have a Bengals first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back. And
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Darrell Taylor in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. Russell Wilson leads out the Seattle Seahawks offense. The veteran Wilson, a third-round pick back in 2012.
So this is what we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Charles, we get a look at the draft class here for this team. What do you think?
Well, I think for the most part, I do like what they did because, to me, they got some solid players in the early rounds. And then if I'm correct in my evaluation, they got some great value in the later rounds as well.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
Fumble on the play.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game. And we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
We're scoreless after 1.
Quarter with no score.
Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Now a handoff here to his running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. From the gun, it's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
The 5-yard line.
They'll run with Lindsey. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll try to run with Lindsey. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Philip Lindsey, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths, running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
Jet sweep, Boyd with it, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains. That was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
Mixon, the ball carrier.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Burrow on 3rd down. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Cincinnati
10 yards there on a Bengal first.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From midfield now, Burrow. Got his man complete over the middle. It's man.
Not so.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Burrow's pass complete. Fumble on the play.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
31-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsey. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line.
Lindsey, the ball carrier.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he will find his man on the outside. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here.
14.
They're going with Lindsey. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
First down.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Ertz over the middle. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
On 2nd and goal, Wilson. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From the 15 now after the sack, it's 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown.
Smith-Schuster. Touchdown, Seattle.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so it looked like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
This time they stay on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Caught left side by Funchess. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Now Burrow to throw on 2nd down. That one taken in by T. Higgins. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. He's going to float this over the middle deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And able to get this out to the 25.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They're trying to get back on track. They had the loss last week to the Dallas Cowboys. The good news, they've got the lead right now. Play action. It's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Rashawn Gary gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
It's 2nd down.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
And it's 3rd
throw is Wilson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Larry Ogunjobi picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. It'll be a 41-yard punt, given 5 on the return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Burrow. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all...
And how about this, a fake? And this is caught, and the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. The fake punt gets him 13 yards, a huge play on special teams. It's a first down. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Tackled by Darrell Taylor.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
It's now 3rd down and 6.
On 3rd down, Burrow. A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. The mistakes continuing to pile up, and it looked like they were going to be able to eat into that deficit. Instead, now the deficit is even larger.
Yeah, they were on a march with a chance to get back within a score, but now that deficit continues to grow.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it is now 21-0.
Good. Makes the score.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
This will make it into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Cincinnati set to take over once again.
And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Again, it's Mixon. A beautiful fake. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On first down, it's Bennett. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
37.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 17-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw.
Slant pass to Boyd. And the Bengals are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer.
Graham Gano.
A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Is on the return. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 24.
He fakes the give here and looks to throw.
That's complete to DK Metcalf.
Wilson's pass.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
A gain of 21 yards.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Operating from the gun. Wilson looking deep for his tight end Ertz. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
They go play action with Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 12 yards there and a first down. To throw again is Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
It moves to 2nd and 10.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Again, Wilson. Screen pass to Lindsey. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Touchdown.
Philip Lindsay with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded in the end zone, and not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
5-yard line.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
8 yards.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
At the 33-yard line.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. That's complete to Disley, the tight end.
Will Disley.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Jordan Brooks. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
4th down. Here's Joe Burrow. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Wilson. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches at the Bengals' 13-yard line.
Oh, Wilson going to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right?
Now Burrow loses the football.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. On second down, here's Burrow. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. From the gun on third down is Burrow. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They go play action now. Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So that's going to push him back half the distance.
Automatic first down.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Seahawks, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year.
And they will head home for next week's contest. That is against Washington.
Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.